feel like chanting USA all morning. Team USA snagged 8 more medals at the Olympics yesterday. No golds, though. It's Prospector Show on Rock 107. Kate, we did hold on to the overall medal lead with 20 after 3 days.
Ooh, we're killing it.
Yeah.
But if you just go by the gold medal count, we ended the day in 6th place.
Well, we're going to go by the total medals then, because that behooves us as Americans more. How about that? Japan, 6 golds. France, China, Australia, South Korea have 5, and the U.S. has 3 golds.
We added a silver and bronze in skateboarding, a silver and bronze in women's swimming, which I did watch.
Yeah.
2 bronze medal in men's swimming, which I also watched. A bronze in
Big swimming fan, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
A bronze medal in fencing, which I also watched.
Sure, yeah.
And the men's gymnastics, the bronze in the team event, which is a big deal.
Let me guess, you also watched that.
Yeah, I did. I was seated for that. That was very, very impressive. They haven't had a medal in the team gymnastics event since 2008.
Yeah, quite a haul there for the United States of America, and I'm happy to have it.
Yeah, it was really amazing. Meanwhile, the U.S. women's basketball team crushed Japan by 26 points in their first, right? By 26 points in their first game, and they're definitely hoping for a gold in that one.
Mm-hmm.
So they've now won 56 games in a row dating back to the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona.
That's quite a lot of games.
I know.
And look, you're going to be disappointed if Team USA doesn't get gold in basketball, men's and women's. Am I right?
Listen, I'm just rooting for everybody.
Let's check in with our French correspondent at the Paris Olympics, live from a cafe along the Seine. Here is Pierre Delong on Rock 107.
Oui, it is me, French male model Pierre Delong. Oh, are you sad today because your American swimmer could not catch up to our Leon Marchand? Maybe your swimmer had too many French fries, which, by the way, are not French. Stupid Americans, you made them up. Maybe you would know more about our food if you didn't visit Paris and instantly rush to the McDonald's to get a Royale with cheese, because you saw it in Pulp Fiction. Oh, stupid Americans. I'll have another report for you tomorrow. In the meantime, why don't you go stuff your face with French toast? You made that one up too. Stupid Americans. Until tomorrow, au revoir.
Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
1 in 10 Disneyland workers can't afford rent. One anonymous duck said, "Hey, I can't even afford pants." A new report says that only a handful of very successful podcasts are making most of the money in the podcast space. Wait, you mean my cousin's husband's podcast about the history of Arby's horsey sauce is likely unprofitable? Police arrested a man who was asleep in a New York subway station with a gun in his pants. The man later denied he had a gun in his pants and was instead just happy to see the officer.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107. He's quirky and cranky, and that makes for a lot of awkward interactions.
What a jerk.
Help Prospector learn from his mistakes. It's time for Am I a Jerk on Rock 107.
Am I a jerk? Before you answer, let me lay it out. I was at a community pool. Been there about 20 minutes. There's 2 boys messing around with a football. They're like 10 to 13 years old, and they hit this woman in the head with the Nerf a couple of times. The mom, the nanny, whatever, is on her phone. She's sipping a White Claw. She's gabbing with another woman. She's just not paying attention. The woman who was hit politely asked the boys just not to throw the ball near her. The boys mumbled something that sounded snotty and walked away. Well, a minute later it happens, but this time, clunk, they hit me. So I have the ball now. Told the boys you can get it back when you apologize to a woman you hit first. And the kid says, "Why? We were just playing." That's when I took the ball and put it in the garbage. Now the mom comes over apologizing for her kid. "Can we have the ball back?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's in the garbage." I said, "Your boys should apologize to the original woman they hit. Instead, they were being rude." That's when mom says, "Boys being boys." No, sorry, that doesn't cut it. Eventually, the boys dig the ball out of the trash and leave. By the way, there was a sign that read, "No throwing of toys in the pool area." Does that make me a jerk?
Absolutely not. I hate the phrase boys will be boys, kids will be kids. Raise your kids right, and this type of stuff won't happen.
That's right. I keep saying parents should be parents, right?
Yes.
We got one from Open Mike on the Rock Lines here, or I should say on Open Mike, as I said. Rock 107.
I'm going to say kind of a jerk. I love that you defended that woman, but maybe talk to the mother or whomever was responsible for the kids and talk to them before you toss their ball in the trash.
So now it's my responsibility to go over and talk to the mother instead of her just watching what her kids are doing.
They're not your kids. Kim from your Facebook said, not a jerk. The lifeguard or someone should have told the manager so they could kick the boys out. And I agree. Someone in charge should have known. Sarah from my Facebook said, not a jerk, especially for the mother saying boys will be boys. Instead, she should have left that ball in the garbage until those boys righted it wrong. And even then, I wouldn't have given it back.
Yeah.
Kids are kids and they have their moments, but also you can raise kids to be decent human beings at the same time.
Yeah, look, I'm not perfect. I think that's why we have it on my jerk segment. I get that, okay? Sometimes I do good, sometimes not so much. Open mic on the Rock 107 app. Me taking the football after the kids are tossing it around, chucking it right into the garbage because they won't apologize to the lady. Does that make me a jerk?
Prospector, you're absolutely not a jerk. Period. You are not a jerk.
That's it. I'm not a jerk. Period. I don't think we have to do this anymore then.
Done. We're done. We're going home. Kathy from my Instagram said, no, this happens way too often. Disregarding the rules, disrupting others, and that are trying to enjoy their day. Then the parents don't make their kids do the right thing, so I'm glad that you did.
Yes.
Joe from your Facebook said, not a jerk. Someone has to stand up to those hump dumplings. I've never seen that before.
It's a great phrase. It's almost as good as sex trophies there. I can tell you what my dad probably would have done. If this, and don't get me wrong, when I was a kid, you're rambunctious. You're messing around. You're not thinking of other people. So you have to teach your kids empathy. Here's probably what my dad would have done. Ready? Throwing the ball, sees hit the kid or the person a couple of times, grabs the ball. All right, you're going to apologize to the girl. And then when you get back, I'm going to throw the ball at you as hard as I can a couple times so you get what it feels like, so you're more empathetic. Tracy from Duryea on the Rock Lines. What do you think? Am I a jerk? Tracy?
Yes, Prospector, definitely not a jerk. I would have done the same thing. You have to teach your kids respect.
Yeah.
And you can't just say, oh, that's just boys being boys.
Hate that phrase. Chris from your Facebook said, nope, not a jerk. Very disrespectful of the boys.
It was very disrespectful of the boys to treat that woman that way and not be cognizant that their actions affect other people. In the question today of, am I a jerk for taking that ball when the kids finally hit me after hitting another woman and not apologizing more than 3 times and throwing that ball in the garbage and not taking it out for them even when the mother asked me to because she said boys will be boys? The answer is overwhelmingly no. I am not a jerk.
What it lacks in integrity, it also lacks in compassion.
Putting a bad taste in people's mouth since 1988. Prospector. Mornings on Rock 107. Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
An 18-year-old girl in Canada saved 16 hikers and campers from a wildfire last week. Her name is Colleen Cannell. She was working her summer job at a resort, but she's also a volunteer firefighter. She knew the area well and guided them all out on a 4-hour hike in the middle of the night.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107. Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather around the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
Monday was National Lasagna Day, and someone may have been attempting to celebrate with a very special, very illegal batch of lasagna. Earlier this month, a 46-year-old nurse aide at a prison in Indiana named Regina Davis was caught trying to smuggle drugs inside the prison, hidden inside some frozen lasagna. Her plan really wasn't that sophisticated. She was caught at the front door where employees have to pass through an x-ray machine. A guard looked at her lasagna and thought it was suspicious. They dug through it and found several packages wrapped in electrical tape that contained about 3 ounces of cocaine and 1.7 ounces of marijuana. At first, Regina claimed she didn't know about the drugs. She said she'd been at a friend's house getting a tattoo when the woman gave her 2 containers of lasagna to eat. She said she brought it to work for her lunch. Investigators didn't buy it, looked through her phone, where she had photos of the wrapped drug packages from earlier in the day. She was arrested on 2 felony narcotic trafficking charges. She's pleaded not guilty. Now she's claiming she did it because she was getting threatening messages. She's been a licensed nurse's aide for more than 20 years.
Nominee number 2.
We've all heard stories about the creative ways people tried to hide their drug stash. And then there's this lady. Cops in Florida pulled over a car on Saturday when they saw the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt. During the traffic stop, they noticed the passenger was moving things around suspiciously. The 41-year-old woman was named Lauren Riley. Cops spotted drug paraphernalia, so they launched a full vehicle search. Inside Lauren's purse, they found a bag labeled, quote, bag of drugs, end quote. It contained crack cocaine, powdered cocaine, crystal meth, Xanax pills, and other drugs. There was also a needle, straws, a metal spoon, and 4 glass pipes. So yeah, it was labeled accurately. Lauren was arrested on a variety of felony charges and a misdemeanor paraphernalia count. She's in jail, and her bag of drugs is currently in a police evidence locker.
And the winner is
the woman who celebrated National Lasagna Day by trying to smuggle drugs into a prison inside lasagna. She worked at the prison. She knew they x-rayed you every day when you came in. She still tried it. She's the Yam Bag of the Day. And we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day. Weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app. A free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.